is KCAL News Mornings.
And straight ahead, the new documentary showing women cashing in and breaking glass ceilings.
We love that.
Money is power, and this is a very lucrative industry.
I was raised to believe that talking about money was in bad taste. Men always talked about it.
Someone needs to do something about this.
That's the new documentary, Show Her the Money, opening in theaters in LA today. And it's about women cashing in and breaking glass ceilings. Legendary actress Sharon Gless and LaFreeda are executive producers. Both of you joining me in studio this morning. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for having us.
You know, I think it's interesting that this is happening on a day where we learned Sandra Day O'Connor passed away. She didn't get paid in her first job as a lawyer.
Isn't that crazy?
Right?
Well, shame on that.
Well, exactly. But so why is it so important? I mean, to bring this message to audiences.
Well, here's the thing. There's $238 billion of venture capital money that goes out into the universe each year, and women get only 2% of those dollars. And women are out there creating all the wonderful ideas in the world. So by not investing in women, our planet is missing out. So this movie is a wonderful, entertaining, educational, easy to understand tool to show and educate women on how they can invest in other women, how women can find funding for their products, their ideas, their inventions. So it covers so many bases. And we have just a wonderful executive producer in Catherine Gray, and Kai Dickens, our director, tells the story just beautifully about these women's journeys into getting their product launched.
Well, and Dawn, if people don't know, explain your journey, because it's incredible. Yeah. You are a businesswoman yourself.
Well, you know, I'm one of the lucky ones. You know, I started as a hostess at Denny's, and got to buy my own restaurant at 23, and built a little empire of Denny's restaurants, and I get to live the American dream and eat a lot of pancakes while doing it.
It's true. Well, and of course, I mean, Sharon, Cagney and Lacey, legendary.
Yes. So, who knew it? That when you're shooting it, you don't know the impact you're having. But eventually, that was the next part. Women finally got the vote.
Yep.
Right? And then finally, they got Cagney and Lacey. Well, but to show women that they had a right to it all.
And they could do it all.
And they could do it all. A drama starring two women. We were thrown off the air 3 times. Really.
Isn't that amazing?
But when they brought us back, by popular demand.
Well, talk about empowerment. Is that part of the reason you wanted to get involved with this project?
Well, also, Dawn happens to be my best friend. And she approached me, and I'd heard the story. I met the women involved. I saw the women being interviewed who were looking for money, and I got very touched by a particular person.
And who was that?
I think it was Vicky Pache, right?
Vicky Pache, yeah. It was a woman who was selling clothes. She's a large woman, and she was designing clothes for large women. Large women,
gender neutral clothing.
Yeah,
you know, maybe comfortable shopping in the women's department.
Sure.
And when she did her pitch, she went up. Well, I'm an actress. Boy, I was standing there just watching. I was just observing. I hadn't asked to be part of it yet. And I watched her, and she said, oh, I had memorized everything. And she was so touching in her pitch. And I went over and I talked to her. And I said, I've been there. I know that one. And then I went to Catherine and I said, you know, I'd like to be part of this.
Yeah, it's a movie that touches on your heartstrings too. It's not just a boring documentary about trying to find money. There's real life stories, and Elizabeth Banks is a spokesperson for one of the women, and she's hilarious in it. And of course, we have Sharon Gless, who's wonderful in it, and just a great cast of women. Pocket's son, you know, she started a venture capital fund at a very young age, such an innovator. I mean, there's some phenomenal women. And even if you think you know about lending and borrowing and venture capital, you'll learn something, because I did, and I've been in business 40 years.
I think, you know, finance is not something that we teach in schools. And so if you don't seek it out to understand it, you're not going to understand it.
Right, nobody's coming to you and say, hey, do you want some money? Yeah. You've got to find a way to go out and get it, right?
Absolutely. Well, I'm loving that the reviews, it's being very well received, so congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Again, it premieres today here in Los Angeles. Sharon and Dawn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And the documentary premieres today, Rutabaga.
Show her the money.
Yeah, show her the money.